just need some space to breathe. I'm just going through some, 'cause everything in this life, and I know I'll be alright, it's just these. Whoa.
Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Eric. If you don't know that by now you do. Today's video is going to be a simple lighting / cinematography breakdown of a project I did in the past. I DP'd this project. It's a live music hit. It's called Rooted Sessions. I shot it with a creative agency in Cincinnati, Ohio, a little while ago. So we're going to kind of go through it, and it's a really cool piece. Like, I loved shooting it. It's one of my favorite pieces to date still. Just in terms of like production level, production value, and then overall value that we gave to the artist, but also that we were able to capture within just shooting it, right? So I kind of want to go through the lighting breakdown first, all the pre-pro stuff, and then I'll kind of go into the production, and then I'll kind of go into the post-pro, maybe not so much of the editing. Pretty much this is what I did. I did this in Citus Link. I do all my lighting diagrams in Citus Link. They have a diagram master that you can essentially use all this stuff, right? So you can set up lights, you can do all kinds of stuff. All right, so first off the bat, I knew, right, key point one, we wanted to light the space, not a face, right? So what I mean by that is you want to light, especially if you're gonna be moving around a lot, you don't want to constantly be moving. Like, this isn't a feature film, right? You're not moving lights every single take and or every single shot, right? We lit this room instead of the person, so that whoever was in this room, because there was times when there was only one person performing, being filmed, and then there's times where I think we went up to like 6 people in that same pretty small space that are performing, right? So we didn't want to constantly be having to move lights, because we shot 3 of these one day and then 3 of these the next day, and it was a full 12 to 14 hour day, with load in, setup, breakdown, load out. It was the whole day, so we couldn't afford essentially to have time to move all this stuff. So we lit the space, which is what I do every single time I'm on set. I work with a gaffer or just myself or whoever I have access to, and I light a space, right? So what I mean by that is we knew that there was obviously going to be a lead, right? So that's this person right here. It could be male, female, whatever. That's going to be the lead. They're going to need to be front lit as well as backlit, right? So they can stand out. So essentially, like if you think about a stage, go to any concert, this is what's happening, right? Sometimes they're not so much front lit if it's dark, but this is a video, right? So the way I chose to do it was to essentially not really have a key, or to key from both sides so that the whole space is lit up, and that the exposure is brought up, and that no matter where the talent goes on stage, that they are lit and they are good to go. Like, we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to move lights. They can move around whatever with the microphone. They don't have to be static, all that kind of stuff. So what I did was we put a aperture 300D on this, just with a reflector going into a scrim. It's just a simple white scrim. I think one was a 6x6, one was an 8x8 maybe. And we did that same on both sides, right? So everybody here is going to be lit, right? This is our key and then a fill, right? We had them both, I think, maxed out. Now, to separate this lead, right? Separate this lead from the rest of the pack, or a drummer or a bass player or a background singer, stuff like that. We had this Amaran 200X that was bicolor. We did a little bit warmer, and we just aimed it at the back of their head. So essentially, whenever they were, and we had barn doors on it, a Fresnel and barn doors, so that we could focus it. So that's a little bit more powerful, but it was more controlled as well, right? So it was a specific spot it was hitting, instead of just spilling everywhere, because then you're not hairlighting anything. And because this is a set, it had to be out of the way. It had to be rigged to the ceiling or what have you, right? So that's pretty much what we did here. Was I rigged it to the ceiling, just with the clamp. And yeah, so that was hitting this lead. And as you can see by this frame here, she's very well lit both sides of her face. She's well lit. She has, and the wardrobe obviously goes into it. Art department did a hell of a job just to get this, just to kind of fully encompass this thing and make it go full circle. But if you can see here, and that's pretty much it. This is getting lit, but it's getting lit from the light here. This is where one of the lights was kind of going this way, right? And then the other was kind of going this way. This hair light is hitting her right here to just make her pop a little bit more, right? So that's pretty much it. It was a simple breakdown, simple setup, simple lighting setup. It didn't take too long to set this up, and we did this for the sole effect that we wanted to light the space and not necessarily anybody's face, so that we didn't have to move, right? And then these cameras here, so our camera placement, I guess we can kind of talk about that. We had a cam was essentially, or we had, so myself, which was a cam, I was on a Ronin with an FX3, because we had an RS2 at the time. The RS3 Pro didn't exist, so we couldn't put the FX6 on it without it having some jitters, right? So we had myself, I was about here, but I would be kind of moving here in, and then I would be coming out like this, right? So I'd be kind of doing this V to come back and in, and that would give us coming in right here. So I'd come in at an angle, kind of meet her right where she is, or he is, whoever's talent, and then kind of back out at that V angle, right? So that's pretty much this V angle. We had a B camera here that was essentially just on like a 7200, I believe. I was on a 35, and then this camera was on a 7200, strictly at the talent, the main talent, right? The main singer, rapper, performer, whoever's there, right? Whoever's the main talent, that camera was solely on that talent. And then we had which is kind of cool, on a Rhino slider, which was placed right below this light. We had an 18mm Zeiss on an FX3. So it gave us this, right? It was more, it's a wide angle, so it showed a little bit more of the set, right? A little bit more of that. It showed more of the haze as well. That was kind of, you see right here in the hair light, it's just out of frame, but you know it's there. It's like a spotlight, right? So we had that, and you can actually see in here, you can kind of see one of our keys, and that's because these windows, we didn't have enough time to pretty much fix this, right? So we kind of just rolled with it, and yeah, and then we had this cool little vintage TV in the back. Doesn't really have a meaning, but kind of cool. But the purpose of this was just to give movement without someone having to man the camera, but to be wide, right? Because we wanted a super wide just to kind of show the set, show everybody, and all that. And then that was our third camera, and then our fourth and fifth camera, we actually had Z9s, Nikon Z9s, and one of them was here at this drummer on, I think it was on like a 24 maybe, and then the other was on this keyboard player for this one, right? Just aimed right at him to just get some more, just different angles, right? So we had 5 cameras going, so that we could pull from any camera, any angle at any time. And especially with myself moving, right? Moving in and out like this, right? And then this camera, when I was in frame here, obviously B camera wasn't able to see anything. So something we actually did, once I was like coming in this way, B cam would focus on another subject, and vice versa. If I was starting here and then coming out this way, and they didn't have enough room to focus on the main talent, they would kind of go to a B cam roll of this person, or just kind of sit there and wait, right? If we just had one person in frame, or like we had one person just rapping by themselves, performing, that B camera just kind of had to sit there and wait, right? So there wasn't really much we could do because there wasn't anything else to focus on. Simple setup, 3 lights, and we lit the whole space, right? So as you can see, I'll show you this one. This is Jillian Ellis here. She's a dope performer. She does a lot of gospel. She's very well known for her gospel music. But you can see that with 3 lights, we lit this whole space. In this location, we got kind of lucky here because all of these practicals in the back here, Hopefully you can see my mouse moving. All of these were house lights. We shot at this really cool bar. All these were house lights. These that look like tubes in the back, we didn't place those. We have Titan tubes. We didn't place those. These were all practicals within the space, right? So we didn't even use any of our Titan tubes. We just got really lucky with these practicals, right? And we essentially, with that hair light for this one, we got lucky that it motivated this hair light. So it makes sense that this is warmer because these are warm back here, right? Simple stuff. This other one that we shot with Matt Waters, which is really fun. It's the same bar, different location in the bar. And then we shot a third one that hasn't come out yet, so I can't really talk about that one yet. And then we had 2 practical lamps in this one on top of these white things that we just thought looked cool and kind of gave the room more character, right? Especially with all these cool colors, we wanted like some more warm temperature, right? These don't really motivate the hair light because it wouldn't make sense that it's coming down on him if these are below him, but sometimes it doesn't matter, right? And then we also, just to give this garage door, because I think it was like a metal garage door, it's pretty ugly, it didn't really match our scheme, our color. We put this, I can't remember what kind of light this is, but it's like a DJ light, and it's fully RGB, and we just boomed it at this blue, kind of mixed with the walls, so to give this garage door just a different color, right? So we can match it with the walls so it's less noticeable, but still pretty cool. For this one, we just had that same 5 camera setup. This was one of the angles, and this was the second of the 2 Nikon, right here, of the Nikon Z9s. If you're ever gonna shoot video, I'd highly recommend you don't use those, because if you don't have them going into like an Atomos monitor, then it's not going to record log footage. It's just gonna be like a flat profile, and then that's why it doesn't match too well with the, obviously, the Cine EI, or not the Cine EI, the S-Log3 of our cameras, right? But it works for this. It's just quick cutaway shots, and then that same 18mm on the FX3 on the Rhino is here, right? And then you have that cool little, this vintage TV in here. We found this when we got on location. It didn't really have a purpose, but I kind of wanted it as a practical in each of the 3, because before this I had shot a promo. I wanted to do a cool promo with this TV and then have it in each of the 3 sets. The promo actually didn't work out because we shot it without the static going on. We just shot it blank, so TV was off, so we weren't able to get it cut out in post to be able to put anything cool in there. Like, it just didn't come together, so that was kind of a bummer, but we still had these practicals as practicals. So here's a BTS photo on set. This photo got warped somehow, but that's myself in the flesh. This was that first set. So this is Matt Waters. This is our monitor showing all the four angles, and then we might have had 6 angles. I can't remember how many cameras we had, but this is our 7200. This is B cam. A cam, it looks like, is right here. That's myself. This is our 18mm C cam, and then this is, I can't really tell from here. Can I see? Yeah, this is just one of our one of the Z9s, I believe, right there. So as you can see, right, we had, this is a aperture 300D, just with a reflector going through a scrim and lighting this whole space. We had that same right out of frame here. We had that same thing. So we had an aperture going through a scrim here, just a simple white diffusion. Just kept it 5600, and then this Amaran, right, is right there. And then obviously we wanted to level it up so that the light kind of gave a cool texture, so we just added some fog, some smoke. But with the AC or the HVAC of this space, it quickly dissipated. So we would be shooting for like 15-20 minutes. It would look dope at the beginning, the first like 3-4 minutes, and then all the smoke would dissipate. You wouldn't be able to tell unless you're like truly looking for it, but it is what it is. But yeah, so it's pretty simple. All right, here is the matte water set. So you see me, I'm on the gimbal here. FX3 with the 35 Sigma 35-1.4, a beauty of a lens. That's one of our aperture 300Ds going through a scrim, and then we had to deal with this pole. It's ridiculous. You can kind of see the slider right here onto cases. It just had a FX3 with 18mm on it. And Moran, we had to put it to the, we had to put it to the side a little bit. So it's right here. And then we had this light, which obviously was a house light, and we couldn't control it, so we turned it off. This is Allan right here taking photos. This was one of the Z9s on the sticks that I was showing before. That was right behind me in that previous picture. And then this is our other scrim, just a 4x4, 6x6. This looks like the 6x6 with a light going through it. And then that's the other cam, which was FX6 on sticks with a 7200. And that's Janie. That was our PA on the day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks hectic. It's really not that bad. That's Sheridan, our art director. She's a boss. She's a baller. And then this is kind of a BTS of, I don't know why I shot all this portrait style, but I did. I'll be panning in at that V and going out. And then like right here out of frame, like not really behind me, but like right here out of frame, if you keep going back, was our B cam with the FX6 7200. Try to get different angles, and I'll try to time it to where like if they were about to belt or hit a note, or in case of this Matt Waters, he was like really good at like performing with his guitar, be right up close on him with the 35 as he was doing something with the guitar, or Jillian if she was like belting with the note. Some of these we did straight through and didn't do any second takes. But if we did do second takes, then obviously I knew the songs a little bit better, or like the cues to where I could like time my movement better. That was the breakdown. Hopefully it wasn't too long. If you enjoyed this, I'm actually gonna link the full videos below in the description, first couple ones, if you want to check out the full versions. They each did 3 songs, and so the full video is about like 15 minutes each. There's 5 of them are out right now. The last one, the 6th one, isn't out yet, which I think the 6th one is actually my all-time favorite. But so if that comes out, maybe I'll do just a cool little breakdown of that one, singularly maybe. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, please subscribe if you want to see more of this. If you have any questions or comments, or you just want to see anything else, you have a question about this set or whatever, leave it down below and I will answer it. Or try to at least. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cool. Peace.